Welcome to Sober Shenanigans. Real talk and real recovery, sharing stories, old and new, trying to stay on the right path and help others just like you. So feel our flow and get on with the show. Here's your hosts, Stoff and Primo.
There you go.
Bring it in, Cal.
Welcome to Sober Shenanigans.
Welcome to Sober Shenanigans, real talk and real recovery. Just three average everyday alcoholics here, your generic brand. I'm your host, Stoff, and with me always is my main man, Primo. What's up, Primo?
What's going on, brother? How you doing today?
Man, I'm flying high, living life great here in Tampa Bay, and we got with us today is my man, Cap. What's up, Cap? How you doing, buddy?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. Welcome to the show, my man.
Craig is good at kicking it. He'll kick the ball to you and then expect like some sort of grand entrance. However, I'm working on it. You know what I mean? It's the exit that I'm good at. The entrance, I'm in a little slow.
Right. I come in hot and then I kick it to you and I stare at you and you're like, wait a minute, what am I supposed to say?
Yeah, well, I think today, I was thinking about this. With some of the things that have happened in our lives and the work that we're doing and this whole God thing is popping up.
Yeah.
It's right in front of our face.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? We're going to turn it over? Are we going to let God run our lives? Sounds like a tall order, man.
It does. The three of us were doing some step work earlier today. So, since Cap is new on the show, although he's an old friend of ours, Cap, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself? And if you want, you can start with your sobriety date, which a lot of people do, or you can just give us some general background about how you found the program and what you like about it or what you don't like about it.
Absolutely. So April 16, 2023, that was my sober date. Again, we were doing step work today, and then the beautiful thing is that we just started a little bit of conversation about my entrance through this and my exit real fucking quick. Oh,
You can say whatever you want.
Oh, did you say fuck? Because we don't do that.
First cuss of the podcast, and that didn't take long at all. But I exited very fast in the program. I didn't even collect a white chip. And so what it came down to was I knew through so many circumstances and so many situations that I knew I was an alcoholic. I knew I was on the precipice of just laying waste even further than I laid before. And I walked out of a room. When I really, now that we just discussed, I wish I just sat a little bit longer. But April 16, 2023, I sat in the room and I just sat the whole period and I collected my white chip.
I was there.
Yeah. Yes, you were. You were. And I swear, man, you shared that day too. Was the part, and instantly one of my good friends will know exactly because I've mentioned it. Your voice just inked in on me. And I was like, God, who is this guy right here? I can't remember the guy back in the day from all these movie introductions, but you instantly, I'm like, this guy has to be a radio DJ. He has to be something with his voice.
Yeah, he's high priced.
You were
talent. That's high priced talent sitting over there, baby.
I remember seeing you, and you were pudgy and sweaty and bloated and white t-shirt, and I just remember thinking, man, this poor guy. And I was for only 3.5 months in myself.
Yeah.
So whatever I shared, I'm sure it was heartfelt, because those first 6 months that I was at Early Risers, I was an open book. I was filleted. Like, I'd been through such a ringer, and I've got you by 20 years. So I was just sharing all the time. Everything meant, it still does, meant a lot to me. Anything we talked about, I tried to relate to. So if it was something that I said that helped keep you sober, then I'm glad I said it, that you picked up your white chip that day, and that's the one you've kept. So that's fantastic.
It is. And I think it's just the room in general.
Wait a minute. Both you guys are one chip wonders?
So far.
Yeah, I guess we are.
Yeah.
But it's it's more of less the room itself, especially in 7 a.m. There's something about like it goes now for me in workouts. Like I wanna work out early before anything. It sets the tone for my day. Early risers, it just, shout out to those guys. I don't see you much anymore, but I love you. Um, I think it just the group of those people, because it was easy for me to sit there and say, there's some things in here, some people in here that I want. And I didn't say that before because like that time I walked in and didn't even collect a white chip, I looked at words like faith, God, a couple of people that I was like, I don't know. I don't trust this. And I walked out quick. But the early risers on April 16, 2023, I observed something and I felt an abundance of shame in my life that it kept me in the room, and it made me say, go tomorrow. And I didn't really dive into much other meetings other than early risers for quite a bit of time. And I'm proud to know everyone in there, because I believe, even though it might not be the rawest, I think it's the most encouraging meeting I go to. And that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Because I look at I look at a lot of their people in there, and I'm enthralled with them. Even in the boring moments, in the most mundane shit, I look at it like, so what? You have absolute chaos in your life. How about you worry and think about maybe pickleball is the one thing you want to complain about? You know what I mean? Maybe that is a good thing to want to get to.
Listen.
Because I looked at it like, well, what else are you doing other than destroying the whole fabrication of what you created? And it astonishes me that the women in my life, including my mom, kept me going and letting me find this out for myself, because at many times I'm surprised they didn't shove me and take me to that room themselves.
It's your mom's best friend who got you in. Right.
No,
Your best friend's mom.
yeah, my best
Right.
friend Lyle, his mom, his name is Joe, and Joe has become a dear friend. I mean, I've known her since I was 5, so
Yeah.
but she's seen, she's seen the dumbest side of me, the smartest side of me, the fattest side of me, the baldest side of me, which is my ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you and I have both lost 30 pounds since that day that we met in that room.
I'm down 65 pounds.
No doubt. I'm down 50 from a couple years ago, but I'm down 30, 35 from the day I met you. We're both, we're living way better.
Absolutely.
It's just way better.
I mean, I converted alcoholism into straight up sugar and cookie addiction. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
There was a good amount of time where I recovered from alcohol, recovered from the obsession of drinking alcohol, and replaced that shit with chocolate chip cookies and a gallon of milk.
Yeah,
So,
a lot of us do.
Yeah.
It's that sugar intake, and I did it as well. And I still like some sugar, but the three of us are home group homeboys.
That is correct. And just so the people know, we're going to start season 2 tonight, right now.
Nice.
I'm pulling the trigger
Good Cap.
with Cap. Cap, you're starting off season 2, so we're going to have to make a cartoon of you. You're going to be famous. You're going to be international. He is one of our Haiti. Now Cap was a chef in Haiti. We were getting reports that he was down there cooking up some food. And he's back to the stateside. He's back in the fold. And this cat is he's ready to start his life and his journey. I mean, he's been doing this for a while now, but I think he's in a good groove, and so the home group homeboys are getting it done, and it's fun right now. It's interesting, we're doing a little step work, doing some reading out of the book, and it's kind of ruins our reputation as bad boys, but it's okay.
We don't want that reputation anymore.
Well, I want to, I still want to jump the shark in my leather jacket. You know what I mean? I want to be the Fonz.
Well, you are primo. You are closer to the Fonz than Cap and I. That's for sure.
I'm in no hurry to grow up. Although and I'm loving each day sober, but I'm in no hurry to grow up. I mean, let's get real.
I asked Primo earlier today. I go, I'd like to count how many times a day you laugh at yourself. Nobody Nobody laughs at their own jokes like he does.
Oh,
You know, Cap, why don't you tell us a little bit about the struggles of staying sober on a military base so far away from home? Because I think
yeah.
there are some people that could probably relate to that when you're on a trip or you're away, or because I know the last couple times you've stayed sober, but I know the first couple times that you were going on these trips, you didn't.
He was white knuckling. Actually, the report is that he was listening to our podcast.
Yeah.
I remember that report. Sorry to interrupt the answer, but
No.
I had to plug us, a shameless plug.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's funny because there was no AA in Haiti, and the bottom line is, so what am I? Almost 2.5 months. There was 5 years of government contracts where I was working on military bases, and so for basically almost 3.5 years, I was just getting totaled on military bases. So before I took seriously the program, I was in very many circumstances very close of being, I ended up in a military base jail.
Wow.
And luckily they didn't test my breath. All they found was they found a hatchet in my truck, and they put me up real quick. And
Because there's no alcohol in Haiti. When you say test your breath.
No. This was in El Paso, Texas. So I was cooking for illegal immigrants, teenage immigrants, and what was going on is that we were working at Fort Bliss in El Paso, and we had to check in at a gate every morning. And one morning I did a lot of camping and a lot of hiking and a lot of drugs and a lot of drinking in El Paso before I got sober. And I remember I didn't get rid of all my hiking gear, and I had my hatchet in my truck, which to them it was a weapon, so they detained me. There's just been so many circumstances where I know how bad it can go on a military base, being under the influence, and to any military base that's looking to come at me for anything, I welcome to give my testimony anytime. But the beautiful thing is, in Haiti, I had full sobriety, and it wasn't a military base. It was actually, the craziest thing about Haiti is that it was a no man's land. There was no government. I had a man shot in the same room as me.
Wow.
And the only thing that we could do is just help him. There was nobody
Did
that
the guy shoot him, or it came from outside?
Straight bullet.
Oh man.
So what it was is like you have this no man's land. And I remember the first 30 days when we flew into Haiti and we took over basically an area of the Port-au-Prince airport. We took over basically the south end of the landing strip, created our own city. So there was no government looking over anybody. There was no watchdog. It was just a company. And, we were cooking for Kenyan police officers. So in all actuality, it was a lawless situation.
Wow.
And for the first 30 days, as a company that was, requiring us to be on our best behavior, they started with no alcohol and no drugs. But that place, very, very soon enough, it goes, hey guys, we made it 30 days. Congratulations. And guess what they did? They brought in beer from the airport itself.
Yeah.
From there, it turned into Lord of the Flies. And it went from pretty nice in solitude. And I'll be honest with you, I was 14 months sober when Haiti started. And I brought my book, and I bought and brought a 12-step coaching guide for me to sponsor people, even though I didn't even make it through the steps. I was so excited about
helping someone else, possibly,
if in need.
Yeah.
I mean, I was so stoked about it, and nobody came. Nobody wanted to talk about anything like that. I was pretty honest and open about most of my situation involving alcohol and drugs.
Dude, I got to tell you, if I'm cooking on the tarmac in Haiti, I'm thinking about drinking.
Okay, so what?
I'm sorry, but God bless you, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations. But I'm thinking about having a couple of pops. Haiti is it is like no joke.
Yeah, I didn't lose 60 pounds in almost 90 days for no reason. It was so we
it was hot as Haiti.
The first 90 days we were in a empty flowing open air hangar, decommissioned hangar, and that's where we set up 2 flat tops, 2 tilt skillets, a couple of convection ovens, and I mean we clocked in on a temperature gauge like 140 where I was standing at every given moment.
Like you're coming in with like your group has machine gun guys with it, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like this is a movie, actually. If you think about this, when you said Lord of the Flies, I'm like, you guys just come in, like somebody puts your crew together and they think ahead to bring you, the cook, the chef. Like, we're coming in with weapons, strong men. We're going to take over this shit. Oh, and by the way, we need to eat too. So we're bringing our own, convection oven and cook to run the shit.
Yeah, and I mean there was a whole fleet of guys that didn't want me there because they knew me in my drinking days. They knew me in my times of I mean, I worked with this group of guys that I inevitably worked with for about 3 or 4 years, a couple of them, a couple of new faces. But I had a very, very tough time with the guys engaging with me as a sober person walking in. And I remember telling my boss, like, I'm in a new lifestyle. And it's so funny because I shared this at a meeting the other day, that even though I told my boss and I told some people that I previously worked with that I'm now newly sober and I want to come into this new project with a new pair of glasses. Shout out to the book. I dry drunk that whole project in the very beginning, and I did the exact same bullshit I would do in every other project, and it took no time for these guys. Even though I will say, I was very, I guess, either convincing to tell them that I've changed, and I was very convincing in the format that I would want to say it. That, what do you guys want to know? What can I? Is there any suggestions you geniuses could give me? And they wanted to give it to me, but the bottom line was,
come home.
Yeah. Oh, they go.
That's my advice.
Yeah, and I took it, Chris.
Yeah.
But the thing with staying sober in that project was absolutely because, in my opinion, I've done so much just basically just tearing up these projects in my own personal circumstances. Like I was just telling you my Jersey story.
Yeah.
And a little bit of El Paso stories. And I've got Wisconsin stories through the wazoo on cooking for the Navy, and I know what to do wrong very quickly and how to escalate issues, and I've done it before. And in Haiti, looking at the fact that we didn't have a governance to really sit and babysit me,
right?
I thought it was pretty easy for me to say, look, man, you can end up dead real quick, and some people did end up dead real quick in that project, and I was nervous about that. And I'm glad not only did I survive, my sobriety survived. And, the funny thing about sober shenanigans, it came out in my last 4 months while I was there. And I'll tell you what, I was, I would be cooking, a 10-hour shift and slapping that on in the very beginning. Like there's been podcasts that get me through it. But when I heard you two guys, cause I've known you guys, especially you through my whole career in AA, it felt like I was at home, and I absolutely missed the hell out of you guys. And it was that, between that and the fact that I had, from what I felt like, a decent wind underneath my sail from AA because of early risers, even though I didn't work the steps. I didn't even, like I said, guys, we're just doing these steps now. Yeah. This is my first bout in it, and we're knocking it out, and I'm proud of it. But the AA that I accrued was satisfactory for me to stay sober, even without AA being directly involved in my life. And
wow, that's a great testament. That's an awesome story.
Yeah, I mean, that's some white knuckling going on there.
It was absolutely white knuckling.
And but now that you get to enhance your spiritual life, you know what I mean? And I saw one of your kids. I'm like, God, what a doll baby. And it's
she is.
Daddy's got to come home, man, and be a part of that whole thing. And the blackout lifestyle, that whole thing, that hard gunning and running thing that we do, to be able to have an opportunity to be present. And then you have like this instant pink cloud atmosphere that you could be a part of. I mean, instant. Like you can like automatically have this great, like you're loved every moment and have all those things around you. It's not to be taken lightly, man, because so that's I see you're doing the work, you're working hard, you're getting involved, and it's just gonna get better, better, and better. It's gonna be like ridiculous.
Absolutely. And to go on that just that one column where you said I have somebody that loves me entirely as I am, who I am. If anybody in Haiti that worked with me that is listening, they know they hate me. And and I'll tell you what, you were my striving force to get out of there because I don't
know they hate me.
And let me tell you something, guys. I'm on step 4 and I want to say this. I appreciate you dealing with me the way I was, and I'm sorry. And I love you guys out there. And also, but you guys actually you encouraged me to get the hell out of there because of your hatred. So thank you to all the haters out there. Because and I mean that, and I don't mean that as in like a in a very
ironic,
like a pop culture like thanks haters. No. There was a very big, large group of not only Haitians, but American, Venezuelan, Kenyan, all types of national backgrounds that hated me on that project. And I don't blame them, I guess, but I did make the best food and I'll stick to that. But the bottom line is I wanted to get out of there because I wanted the love of my kids and I missed my kids very much so. And being back around it and surrounded by it, I can't describe a bigger pink cloud ever. And I mean, also working the steps with you guys it's been honestly between the place that we're doing it, the 2 guys I'm doing it with, it is like I pinch myself because I've never been, in my opinion, surrounded by something that inspires me so much. So I deeply agree, graciously appreciate you guys.
It's all good, brother.
Yeah.
How many people were you cooking for over there?
900. So 900 to 1,000, depending on the situation.
So it's 3,000 meals a day.
3,000 meals a day.
Give or take.
Yep. And that ain't nothing.
So that's beans and weenies.
That ain't nothing.
That's beans and weenies for $1 million, man.
No, that was not. That was oxtail. We had Cornish hen. We had grilled ribeye steak. I mean, I was definitely held to the fire to make some damn good food, and we did. So
how do they fly in all that good food from
Absolutely.
America?
Oh yeah, shout out to John. Good job, buddy. You really ordered some high end stuff at the taxpayers.
I was gonna say, man,
my man John.
they're eating better than us over here. I'm having macaroni and hot dogs.
Who was the purveyor?
U.S. Foods. But we also.
I used to work for U.S. Foods.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I retired from the food service from Cisco.
Yeah.
I have a pension with them.
No, we would get these U.S. Foods salted caramel chocolate chip cookies. I would demolish.
Oh, those are fucking crazy.
I'd demolish
The dough, though, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Already cooked?
Single package cookies. I would tear them up by the case.
All right.
Nice, yummy.
That'll put some weight on you.
Yeah,
It'll keep you. That sugar craving was that's.
But I mean, I was walking and working 20 miles a day just in my 10-hour shift.
Yeah, and in 5 feet in a 5 feet circle. I know I was a chef.
Oh no, our kitchen was almost the size of a football field. So oh yeah. So the basically the task I had to do is I ran a certain segment of the kitchen. So you would have at one end tilt skillets, and then another end you'd have rationales at the very end. So you're making sure your teams that are working all these sections are doing what they're supposed to do. Plus our connexes, I guess you want to call them reefers.
Yep.
All outside. I mean, that was a haul just to go get your food. You had to walk. There was just miles upon miles you had to walk.
Yeah, it sounds like a makeshift. I've done a lot of catering, but that I don't miss. I'm glad I wasn't a part of whatever you were doing.
And I'm glad I was, in a sense. And I, at this transition in my life, I can't wait to leave it behind me, though.
When you work a job like that, and I can tell you this, when I left the kitchen and I worked the 80-hour weeks, okay, and I was working 6.5 days a week if I was lucky, right? The next job I got, everything I did was so much easier. And it's kind of cool. I mean, the first 4 or 5 years of my sobriety, I was still cooking. and I decided to get out. I climbed to the top of the mountain, became an executive chef at 2 restaurants on the water. And I'm like, as soon as I got to the top, I was like, now what? And then my food rep would come in, and I started asking him about his job. He goes, yeah, I used to be a chef. I'm like, really? So it took me about 4 or 5 interviews. I mean, I was begging these guys for a job. I finally got in, and it was the best thing ever happened to me. But it was so much easier. Like, when you develop that work ethic, everything else comes a little bit easier. And it's like, so it's a good foundation.
Absolutely.
That work ethic and foundation, find in a lot of young people today. And very few.
Plus, you're under fire. I mean, literally, while you're over there. I mean, you never had stray bullets kill anyone at one of your restaurants, I don't think, Primo.
No, some people have chef coats. I had bulletproof vest and helmet.
Wow.
Even though helmet didn't do shit. I remember there was a code black, and it was me and Chase. If you're listening, I love you, buddy. We were on the grill, grilling ribeye steaks, and we got a code black, and they were telling us to put our vest on.
What does that mean?
Code black means fire inside the camp.
Active shooter.
Active shooting. And I looked at one of my project managers. I go, you can either have dinner tonight or I can put this vest on. I'm not cooking in this. So they chose dinner. They chose dinner. And to me, it's like, I mean, when you're at the stage I was, I had 200 ribeyes on the grill. There's just an instinct in me. If I got to die by flipping a steak, I guess this is. I'm not trying to make that heroic. There was legitimately a sense in my brain that I don't give a shit what was going on. I am not leaving this grill with these steaks on it.
You know what? I was crazy as a chef. I would have went out there and found that guy and put him on the grill.
Oh,
I was like, you son of a bitch.
The best part was one of our enemies. His name was Barbecue. So I mean, it's like that was our villain out there. So
really, how many cooks were you in charge of that were flipping those ribeyes? You weren't flipping 200.
Oh no, absolutely I was.
Yeah,
you flipped 200.
We had to cook.
A skillet the size of
1600. I'm talking. We would have maybe 100 to 200 ribeyes on the grill at once. We cooked 1600 altogether.
Jeez,
yeah.
That's a big grill. Now I would have went straight up Gordon Ramsay on his ass. You know what I mean? I would have went right after him.
What, throwing the towel at him? Said
whatever.
You creme anglaise.
You donkey, get out of here, you donkey.
Yeah. I would have gone bar rescue and
bar rescue. Yeah. I don't know, but
we all would have been bar rescue on that one.
I can tell you, there's a certain amount of when you're under that much pressure, there's like this other gear that kicks in that you don't even know you have, as far as like rage and anger and like, don't mess with me. When you got that many fucking things that are getting ready to incinerate and burn and blow up in fire, you do not want to be messed with.
Well, I think, and everyone would agree to this that's ever worked with me. Rage and anger is like it is my steam. It's my one thing that just catapults me to what I do and how I do it. And unfortunately, it's given me some plateau to where people have called me back to do more jobs, and some people it's just turned them completely off. And I understand both, because I outwork a lot of people, especially in this day and age. No matter what age, I've outworked a lot. And anger and rage was like that. It was that gear that I always ran on. And now, and it's funny because I think I was trying to get to the point where I was saying I worked with people that knew me before I was sober, and I wanted to change that image.
Yeah.
And quickly they smelled it out that nothing really changed. And
yeah. It's hard, man. It's a tough. When I got sober and I loved cooking, like that's what I was going to do my whole life. It was just the attitude that I had to have as a chef, and to have the standards that I wanted to do to create and maintain those standards, was so difficult to be happy at the same time, because nobody's keeping up with you and you're policing everybody, and it's hard to be nice.
Well,
it's so hard to be nice.
So you were sober, but you acted the same way.
Absolutely the same way.
Yeah.
Except I was a little bit, in my estimation, I was a little bit more interesting. You know what I mean? That's
I
just
doubt that.
no. I think I got a few guys that would absolutely, the Haitians looked at me like I was a fucking zoo animal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I say this about all Haitians. They're the one thing they are great at is they are great at staring. You know what I mean? And me, I was the fucking polar bear. I was the white big bear that they were like, I've never seen anything like this before. Where's the popcorn?
Yeah.
So
It's a show, man. When people don't,
Yeah.
when you know what you're doing and you know every single thing, it's a choreography.
absolutely.
Yeah, and it's hard for like him to say he doesn't understand how you could have 200 steaks on the grill.
No.
I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I mean, I might have had 200's a lot, but
Oh yeah. But it's legitimately like I'm a ballerina. Just this ugly bearded ballerina in a kitchen, and it's sometimes it's beautiful, sometimes you're
Right.
you're waiting for that curtain to drop.
I mean, shit. By the time you get the 200 steak on the grill, the first one is burning.
No, not the way I did it. Because you you slap it on and then you make your way down and then you do your crosshatch and then you make your way down again and you're flipping. Those things are on for maybe 5 minutes at most. At most. Each steak. I guarantee.
How hot is the grill?
Oh, it's full blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to go.
600
Yeah, you got to go
degrees.
full blast.
You're searing it.
Yeah, you're kissing that thing.
How did you do like 12 at a time on the back of a sheet pan or something?
Oh no, so you talk.
Are you dealing cards? You're like,
Oh, I'm dealing. No, we're each one went on by this hand or Chase's hand.
so
Each one-
you're dealing cards. So you had a guy next to you.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was a 4-man job, but I mean,
Oh,
think about it this way: you had one guy that was absolutely just holding a 4-inch hotel pan, looking at us like, "Are you ready to take these off?" And I'd say, "Yeah," and then I go, "Clarified butter guy, please, drizzle, call it a day, move on with life."
Yeah.
But no, it's absolutely romanticized, and I dealt with that same mentality when I quit drinking. I go, well, how can I be a chef? Because they really, the aspect of a lot of things, they absolutely marginalize the fact that we're just deviants and drug addicts and alcoholics, and it's part of our nature. And you know, I did not deviate from that. That's a fact.
So a lot of people say never trust a skinny chef. I always say never trust a chef that doesn't do drugs.
Really?
Well,
he's
how in the hell are they going to do it without it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's that crazy. You need
Yeah.
drugs.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not anymore, but
Well, not anymore. I mean, but then again, here I am trying to transition now because I think what I need in my life is a major transit. So,
Greg, are you?
I'm super happy for you.
You want to? Is there a control point here that you're concerned about?
I'm just looking at making sure that Cap's mic is bouncing. That's all.
He's bouncing.
am I
Dude,
down?
Oh yeah.
the closest I've been, so I have worked in restaurants and bars, but only as a bouncer. So I've seen the cooks doing drugs, and everyone did drugs. This was the 90s when I was doing this.
Roadhouse.
So
baby.
I don't have any sort of bearings on what you guys were doing back there. I just always, kind of marveled at the chefs, and they always seemed like insane people.
Yeah.
And then my little brother, was a cook for a long time at a sports bar. So he also kind of really enjoys, like, you guys liked that lifestyle because you like the hecticness of it. You don't like the drugs and alcohol part anymore, but there's a love for, like, if my brother was here, he'd be commiserating with you. Like, I remember, yes, this and yes, that. And, I don't, I just remember thinking, fucking crazy Mike cooking again, and leave him alone. That's the only thing. I was always front of the house trying to throw people out if which I hated. I was only a bouncer for 364 days because I told myself I would never do it a whole year. And I was actively in drugs and alcohol at the time. That, as I mentioned before, I was also a Shylock for the mob. So I collected money for the mob when we were done bouncing at night. But I hated throwing people out of the club for doing shit that I would do, just because the owner had a whim. Like, this guy was a little bit too gregarious and maybe talking to someone that the owner had a crush on. So the owner would be like, yo, throw him out. And I want to be like, no, he's not doing nothing. I mean, he's not doing anything that I wouldn't be doing. So I don't want to throw him out, But
The life of a Shylock.
Yeah. Oh, the Shylock part was fantastic. You know, I used to collect with a guy named Frankie, and Frankie loved Elvis. So we would go to the after party, me, Frankie, and Kurt, and we'd go to collect. And the guy who we were collecting from, we always, of course, knew who it was. And, you know, every bar and restaurant has an after party. So Frankie would then do an Elvis impression. And depending on how the guy that owed the money reacted to the Elvis impression would depended on how bad he got his ass whipped. And I saw this happen many times. If the guy appreciated the Elvis, it was like, man, that was great. You did great. He didn't get it so bad. But most of the time, these jackasses would laugh at Frankie, because who does an Elvis impression at a party you're not really invited to when you're there to collect? Frankie did, just to see how you reacted, and he broke many noses for people that did not appreciate his Elvis impression. And me and Kurt ran into each other the other day, and we were talking about this. I mean, this is 1,000% real, that he would do this to see how you reacted, to see how bad you were going to get whipped. And we would take everything off of you. We'd take all your money, your jewelry, and break something if you didn't have enough. And this was the 90s in Florida.
See, I instantly go to Reservoir Dogs when you tell me about that. I just think about the guy just walking around. I forget the song you sang.
Oh, yeah.
Cutting the guy up.
Michael Madsen.
Yeah.
He just passed away. Yeah. Yeah. No, we didn't. So Frankie was insane, but he didn't.
Sounds like
he
it.
never cut people. Like, we didn't kill anybody. We just beat him really bad.
For the record.
Yeah, for the record.
For the
Nobody got
record.
killed.
How about a little less conversation, a little more recovery?
Yeah. Well,
that's my horrible
I
Elvis.
recovered from that.
That's my horrible Elvis
Yeah.
impression. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Frankie's running an Applebee's in Lakeland now, from what I hear. So I wouldn't cross him.
I'm not even anybody with a name like Frankie worries the shit out of me.
Oh yeah, and he was older than us and a badass, man. He loved to scrap, and you know, we worked for Tony Montello and Richie Capella, rest in peace, both of them. In fact, the last Trafficante mob boss just died here recently, Vinny, and they went to his funeral and stuff. So yeah, you know, the good old days, I guess.
Now I wonder, are those guys worried about AI taking their job?
The AI should be worried. I mean, if you talks through Elvis,
I don't think so.
No, the Shylocks are fucking running scared because of AI.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know how
they're gonna have to fucking be plumbers now.
I mean, plumbers collect just as bad as fucking Shylocks do.
All right.
You know, sometimes.
I see it.
Yeah. Anyway.
I'm barely sober over here. Barely.
Yeah.
But I like the sobriety, though, Chris. You're definitely one of the most interesting guys I've met in this program. So I dig the sobriety.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
Primo is, and we went to the Friday meeting over in Tampa where he is well known. A lot of guys appreciate him.
And I got a good buddy. I mean, you know, the one thing I'm appreciating with you, Chris, is that you're trying to keep it as traditional and simple as possible. And I think for the most part, that's probably the smartest thing for me, because my brain wants to go, okay, well, let's make sure we can get this correct. And you're
not gonna get to do any nouveau cuisine.
That's what I'm
over
saying.
here. We're gonna go traditional.
Yeah.
You're gonna learn the classics, and then you can do whatever the hell you want. You know, that was the way when I went to culinary school, how they described it to me. And I thought it was the most interesting thing because I loved cooking, so I had to study all these different cuisines. But they told me to focus on the French, like the foundation of cooking, which is, you know, they came up with a lot of the rules and sciences of cooking, right?
Yeah.
And he said, once you learn that, and they gave me the book of Escoffier, and they said, okay, do this, and learn all the sauces and all these other things. Escoffier. Oh, yeah, Escoffier. Augustus Escoffier, the founder of French cuisine and the modern kitchens.
Yeah.
But, so once you learn that, you can play any type of music you want. It's like music. So if you think about creating and understanding classical music, if you have a background in that, you could branch off into anything.
Absolutely.
So that was the cool part. Like So I just was dabbling in like cooking and working in the local places and whatever. But once I learned the science and stuff, it was cool, man. I was in love.
If you pick up just a basic understanding of something, it's you're just light years beyond people that try to start at the very nip end of it.
Right.
So it's like anyone that says I'm going to start in molecular gastronomy, but they don't know how to get a good toast on a nice buttered croissant. I'm sorry, even though you can mix calcium sorbate in a nutrition bath and get a balsamic pearl, that's great. But if you can't make good French toast, you're what good are you? But the funny thing that you say about that is I'm known and notorious for the leftover king. I will take and combine so many different things, and as people are watching me, just shovel everything I possibly can out of refrigerators into the same 22 quart bucket, and then stick blend the shit out of it. They look at me like, "What is this guy doing? What is he thinking?" And then they taste it, and they're like, "Holy shit!" And you manipulate what you got, and if you have a basic understanding of flavors, you can manipulate anything.
It's a pretty tough audience there in Haiti.
Oh no! Well, I mean, it's not, because all they're really happy to do is just watch.
Yeah.
I mean, you make them do anything else, they get a little itch. They're like, wait, I got
staring.
Yeah. Oh man, Easy knows exactly what I'm talking about, don't you, pal?
Yeah.
I flew into Haiti one time. I swear to God, military flight. So there's only one fucking window, and you're able to stand up on these military flights. So I'm standing up in the one window as we're landing, and sure enough, what do I see right when I'm flying right back home to Haiti? Is one guy just sitting in the middle of the terminal or the tarmac, just staring at the plane coming down. And I'm like, sure enough, this guy, he gets it. He just wants to stare. He just wants to stare.
Oh, they're casing the joint, bro.
Oh, no doubt about it. But I mean,
they're not even Shylocks. They're a whole nother division.
But this guy, but this guy,
they're the takers, not the collectors.
This guy had nothing to do with being on the tarmac. I think he just made it onto the tarmac and just wanted to stare at an airplane. So it's a weird thing, and I couldn't tell you. Never in my life have I ever felt more like a rare animal than I was in Haiti. And I mean, there wasn't too many white people, and yeah, so I was a bit of a commodity.
I had a friend of mine. Actually, I'll tell you guys a story here. My best friend passed away in Haiti, and so he was an interesting guy. So when the earthquake happened in Haiti, he had a helicopter, and he was working for this really wealthy guy. He was a pilot, and he was very successful in his own right. But he decided that they were going to fly to Haiti and help all these people out. He was part of a Christian coalition or whatever. And he took it upon himself to go there, and they were flying doctors into these areas and bringing medicine in with his helicopter. And he loved it, man. He was like, I knew he was jazzed about it. And so what happened was and they were in this like Christian village. So the voodoo village, the people up in the mountain were watching all this stuff come into the village, like after this total disaster. Like they don't even know what's going on. All they know is God is killing them, punishing them. And so the interesting thing that happened was the voodoo people came down to see and say, our God is no good. We need to find a God like yours. And they converted a lot of these people over to Christianity because they had this, voodoo is a whole different thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But it's a real thing in Haiti.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely is.
So he converted all these people, but I don't know what exactly happened, but his helicopter crashed and he died. Him and this other guy died, and he became a hero there in Haiti after this thing, and they had his funeral. I went down to his funeral, and I was gonna like, well, shit, man, I want to tell this crazy story, and then I'm at this funeral, and there's 3 different priests that were from the island that had witnessed and documented this whole thing that he did. And I was like, shit, man, I can't get up there and say any of the, we did a lot of crazy things as kids. He was a great, great friend. And I miss him dearly, believe me. But that's my little Haiti experience. But he he had shared with me before he left, that God had called him to come and do this. And it's pretty sad. But, through disaster, whatever he went through, that was my little exposure to Haiti and just how crazy. And I think they probably ripped him off with some bad gasoline, or just something like that happened to him because it was such a police state.
Yeah.
Where people were probably killing each other for anything, any kind of food or whatever, because it's such an impoverished area. There's no infrastructure whatsoever.
I mean, it's the most poorest inhabitants of this hemisphere that we have. I mean, it's pretty bad.
A lot of machetes running around.
Oh yeah, I mean it's disturbing the
Yeah.
crap that what I found out what was going on just in a mile radius of me. I mean it disturbs me. So, but I can tell you this, like the people of Haiti are amazing, and like any outside contribution, if you go in there with an intent, with a big heart, like I've never found more like appreciative and most curious people ever. I mean the curiosity and the great the gratitude that they show you. I know they it's pure love.
While they stare.
While they stare at you.
So there was a time in Florida, especially, where a lot of people were figuring out whatever they could float on and trying to get to Florida. Okay, and a lot of Haitians washed up on our shores, and I had hired a couple of them to come and work in the restaurant. You're talking about some of the humblest and most hardest working people I've ever been around.
I didn't meet any of them in my time in Haiti. But
well, I did.
I don't mean to say that for the whole country of Haiti, though.
No, but the ones that are brave enough to grab a palm tree and float over here,
yeah,
are certainly grateful. I mean, they gave a new meaning to the word of gratitude in action. Man, these guys and they would do anything you ask them to do. Would just so pleased to have the opportunity.
Well, I mean, there's been so many situations. I still got my buddy now, Easy, that sends me pictures of him, his son, and I mean, what he has to us, we would be so upset, and he is so grateful for.
Yeah, they have the energy of a badly beaten newcomer willing to do anything.
Yeah,
I mean, like they've just been through the ringer and they're ready to go. So I always had a lot of respect, and I tried to even learn the language, patois and the French. Yeah. And it's interesting that they speak the French language. It's called patois, right?
Well, it's Creole.
Creole, yeah. Okay. So there's different dialects, but I think even throughout the country, but the international trade language, I think, is patois.
I thought patois was strictly for the boonies in Louisiana. That's what I thought.
No. Patois is Haitian.
Is it?
Yep.
Okay. I know they're a lot smarter than what a lot of people give them. These guys got a good head on their shoulders. I mean, it's been a rough patch for them. I'll tell you what, voodoo was one thing that terrified me. Whenever I got anybody mad that was Haitian, that was the first thing that my paranoid alcoholic mind went to. I go, what could they possibly do with me? And then I made sure my hair was on my head, and I made sure all my Band-Aids went in the garbage and didn't get picked out, because it's a different area.
Oh, because they would pluck your hairs and take your blood.
Yeah, but that's a very stereotypical thing for me to say. So to any voodoo, if I'm offending, my apologies. But that is definitely a thing. That is definitely a thing that went through my mind.
Wow.
Because paranoia just seeps in when you're in such a weird. From what I come from, I'm from Dunedin. So, I mean, it's like you take me out of Dunedin, you put me in war-torn Port-au-Prince, and with voodoo, I was raised Catholic. Yeah. So it's and don't get
no
wrong.
Government entity.
And well, no, I mean, not even close. I mean, Port-au-Prince was so, it just no inhabitants of government at all. That was the whole point we were there, overrun by gangs. But then even furthermore, we were a company. I was a subcontractor of a company that came in, and really, I mean, it was all lawless. So it was definitely interesting. And sobriety over there, I mean, I could tell you right now, what was very beneficial for me is to watch people get drunk and make terrible mistakes all the time. I think I've made the comment before in the rooms where I look at relapse as like a vampire looks at blood, and I really do appreciate a good relapse. And when I wasn't around people that would say they have an issue and would call anything a relapse, right? When they're in the midst of whatever the hell they're going through, addiction, alcohol use, I just looked at very, very poor choice making under the influence, and I said, you know what? That that could have been me. That could be me brushing that hangover off. That could be me. And you say it all the time. You don't have to plan your blackout.
Nope.
And I just watch people just basically just you watch they lose their human. And it's funny because through anger I lose my humanity, and I don't see humanity the same, but mix that anger with alcohol. I mean, I was just a destroyer.
So, but now you're in the land of plenty.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, now you've got all the stuff at your disposal, all of it. It's right here in front of you.
I do, but I also need to learn to really just let God do some work too.
See, that might not be a bad idea. I will tell you that we were both right, actually. Jamaican, it's called patois, is Haitian Creole. It says it right here. I asked ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is always right.
Yeah, but you have given us some
And there's also Jamaican.
debatable definitions. These
No,
past couple
no,
days.
no. Listen, you
Debatable definitions. Nice.
Wait,
That's good.
But what was it the other day? I forget the word.
Well, I've come to know you as a master debater.
Yeah, I can't help myself. I can't help myself. So
Well, that's.
it's probably what I'm probably better at sticking to. You know what I mean? 4 kids so far.
I was a master. You should have been a master debater instead of.
Yeah.
I wish I clung to that more than I clung to alcohol.
Well, every time I've debated, I've never gotten in trouble. Never mind. This is going nowhere quick. Greg.
Yeah,
Greg, you have to-
on this one particular spot. Yeah,
Yeah.
Greg's got his phone. He's going to read this. He's going to lay it on us, bro.
I am. So, everybody out there listening, if you're having a tough time quitting, whatever it is, you need to quit. You're not alone. There's apps and numbers and groups in your town, or you can call us if you want. Leave us a message, 727-294-4933, or hit us up on Facebook. Taking that first step into a room or a chat or a group with people trying to get better just like you will be the best day of your life. Cap, you got anything final words that you'd like to say from your appearance here today, or something wise from the AA life, or however you would like to wrap up your day today?
I personally just I just want to show gratitude, and I want to be a little bit more graceful in my life, and I'm trying. So anyone that knows me, listening, I greatly appreciate you, and all of you that love me, I can't tell you how much I love you back. And then also it's like doing the step work, man. I almost went 2.5 years without doing any step work. So the AA program is phenomenal. It worked with me when I didn't work the steps, but I feel a different force in it now that I'm working the steps, and it's been great. I mean, it's a pinch me moment every time I walk into the studio with you guys, and also it's clarifying AA a little bit better for me, and it's putting me on a different path of looking to the future. Having sponsors in my future, which still scares the hell out of me, but
Sponsees
is what I meant. But
Yeah.
it's been helpful, hearing Chris do a traditional style AA. It's what we all need to do, because I'm an overanalyzer. I'll pick apart it all, and I think if I try to do less of that, and first thing he said to me when we walked in, hand it over to God more. I just got to do that.
Nice, man.
I asked you if you lied to me when we did the third step. I love that.
And I try to talk myself out of it. You know what I mean?
Well, Primo, what's your final point on today's show?
Oh, the final point. I had it, and then you guys kept talking, and then it went away, and now I have to find it again. It's right here somewhere. The final point today is it just gets better, better, and better. It's so important to realize that each and every day is a gift, and that you know. And it's just like anything else, you know, if you're going to do this, you might as well do a great job at it. Don't come in and do a half measure. Don't do half of this thing. Don't sell yourself short. There's a whole discovery of what we can get out of this and the things that we can learn about ourselves that we didn't even know we didn't like about ourselves. That, you know, these defects of character, these other things that we can change, and we can craft our God into this thing that can help us, and then we can use that to springboard into a sober support group and a squad, and we can let down our ego and pride and let all these things in that have been blocking us from us reaching our potential. So it gets better, better, and better, man. Like it's this is not a theory, you know, it's a practice.
Nice.
You know, so I just made that shit up.
I think it's fantastic. Like my wife says, don't do anything half-ass. Do it whole ass if you're going to do it.
Yeah, bring the whole ass in there.
Bring the whole ass. Well, hey, thanks for listening to Sober Shenanigans, real talk and real recovery. You know, worry, anxiety, and fear, it's all up in here. Just give yourself a break because you're enough and you're doing great. I'm Stoff and he's Primo. And remember, no drinks today.
We're all in the same boat, fellas.
But our shenanigans are cheeky and fun.
Yeah, I mean, his shenanigans are cruel and tragic.
Which makes them not shenanigans at all, really. Evil shenanigans.
I swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans.
Shenanigans!